I have been inside Area 51. Ask me anything. Before we jump into the questions, don't forget to subscribe to the channel with notifications on and follow on Spotify. How much of Area 51 did you see? How much security was there compared to a regular military base? And did you see anything unexpected or unusual? The answer is I saw a lot of it. It's a big place. I was driving around probably for 25 miles. I think it was from the southwest gate. Security was effective but light. In other words, there were civilians outside the gate with lawn chairs and telescopes, but they didn't get anywhere near getting inside, but I had a pass. Yes, I did see something strange. It wasn't just me. Two of us saw a strange aircraft flying low across the desert floor, and it went up and over these mountains that were in front of us. We figured it was a test flight of a secret aircraft, but it was weird. I've never seen anything like it. Question, what was its shape like? How did it move? Answer, it moved fast, subsonic speed, but it seemed quite fast because it was only about 100 or 200 feet off the ground. It was flying across flat ground when it came to the mountain. It just hugged the mountains and stayed a few hundred feet off the ground even as it was climbing the mountain. It was black and looked like an F-117A. Like I said, it didn't make much noise either, at least I don't remember hearing anything. And also for the record, if you are interested, there are 3 pieces of proof that he provides that he has been inside of Area 51. Check the description on YouTube if you're interested in seeing that. If any of you guys have ever seen the Bob Lazar documentaries, he actually is somebody else who has apparently been inside of Area 51 as well. And it sounds like there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on inside of there. So I'm interested to see what Stephen Goravan, who is the one that's answering these questions, saw in his experience. Question, based on what you saw of the low-flying aircraft, how many decades away would you estimate we are from hoverboard technology? This is an important and serious question. Answer, probably pretty darn close. Does Area 51 have a gift shop? Answer, yes. Except for aliens, is there anything else Area 51 is involved with? Answer, testing. It's like a test range for the military and other government agencies. Question, other government agencies? Any one agency specifically? Answer, well, certainly NASA is the one that I'm sure of. JPL and those are the only ones I'm sure of, and probably at least one university, but I'm sure there are more. What's one thing you can tell us about Area 51 that we don't know but should? Answer, I would say probably how truly vast and remote it is. Despite the fact that it's in the United States, it's so remote. What is the most interesting fact you know? Let's just get straight into it, and I mean interesting as in, wow, I cannot believe that is true. That the size of the apparent disk of the moon in a solar eclipse is the exact same size as the sun. There is no reason why that should be. Is Area 51 mainly above ground or underground? Answer, I didn't see any underground facilities. It's mostly desert when I was out in the desert. What part of the Mars rover was he involved with? In other words, what field is he a genius in? Answer, it was for the RAT, rock abrasion tool. He was a member of the MIR science team, and he said, quote, we were controlling it from JPL and pretending Area 51 was Mars. The reason why that one was written a little bit strangely is because he's actually dictating this to someone who's typing it out. So the guy who has been inside of Area 51 is speaking, so sometimes they'll ask the questions in terms of he, since they know that that's not the person typing back to them. Have you seen anything significant that you're not allowed to talk about? At Area 51? No. Implying elsewhere then? Yes, but I don't want to talk about it. Okay, without giving away specifics, can he answer this? Can you not talk about it because it would jeopardize national security? Or is it something the government wants to keep from the people? Answer, probably the second one. So it would jeopardize the security of the government as opposed to the security of the country, or is it because our little minds are not ready for such a huge shift in understanding? Thank you for this AMA. Answer, sort of close to the latter. I wouldn't exactly explain it that way, but they don't think it's time. This is probably the most ominous part of the entire AMA so far. And when he says it's closer to the latter is the explanation saying that because our little minds are not ready for such a huge shift in our understanding. That is intriguing, but I wish he would say what it is. Hopefully in these next few questions. So tons and tons and tons of people are saying things along the line of, well, now you pique my curiosity, give me something, some hint, and the person dictating What he is saying, only posted a link to a video and said he's allowed to talk about this, but all you alien searching people might find this interesting. And the name of the video, which I'll leave a link to in the description on YouTube, is called "Is Worm Clue to Mars Life? CNN in Search of Alien." And of course, this led a bunch of people to giving DUNE references like Shai Hulud, the spice must flow, a bunch of that, which is actually very relevant because I just finished reading DUNE for the first time. Question: what about the DUGWAY proving ground then? Have you been there? If so, were there things you weren't allowed to talk about? Answer: nope, I've never heard of it. Question: will they really fire at you if you cross the gate into Area 51 with no warning, or are there warning shots and people who come and get you out / arrest you? Answer: I don't know what the nature of security is if I try to break in. What does an Area 51 pass look like? Do they have a secret handshake too? Answer: no, our name was on a list and our NASA badges got us through. Question: what was running through your head when you heard you were going to be working there? Whether you believe any of the rumors or not, there are still a ton of them. Answer: I thought it was very cool and I was looking forward to it. Question: did you get to go inside of Hangar 18? Answer: no, I don't think I went inside any buildings. The crew was there for 2 weeks and I camped probably half of that time. The other half I drove into a town in Nevada and I stayed there. I forget the name of it. I drove like 90 miles at 100 miles per hour, no speed limit. The first thing that comes up about Hangar 18 is that it's a hangar at the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base purported to contain UFO technology, because I didn't know what Hangar 18 was either. Apparently there's also a song called Hangar 18 Area 51, a song by Yngwie Malmsteen. How many women work at Area 51? A few, probably about 10%. Do you think that the government has made contact with aliens but are afraid of chaos if they acknowledge it? Answer: no, it's possible, but I don't think so. Question: who is in charge of Area 51? I have no idea. Question: what was the name of Area 51 that you went? Did they officially have a name for it? Did they say you're going to be working in Area 51, or what did they call it? Answer: it may have had another name, but all we knew it was as Area 51 and that's what we called it. Question: could you ask him, I'm in a technical field as well, computer science. How do I increase my creativity so I too can found a robotics company one day? Answer: don't take no for an answer. Persevere, keep coming back for more. That's the secret actually most people give up. What is your view on the Roswell UFO incident? Answer: I think it was probably the government, but they're not telling us the whole truth of what they were doing. Question: how many people actually know the truth there? Is it constrained to just a handful, or is it a secret protected by thousands? CIA, FBI, NSA, etc. In other words, how large is the cover-up? Answer: if there is one, I would bet it has to be small, otherwise somebody would spill the beans. Question: if you could go to Mars in the remaining years of your life, knowing you could die, be it while traveling or on Mars itself, would you do it? Answer: no, I am an Earthling. Question: how much access does the president have to the files of Area 51, and how much does he know, and is there anything neither him nor anyone is allowed to know? Answer: that's above my pay grade. Question: why was the rover tested at Area 51? Didn't the government have their own area that was similar to other planets, such as where the Apollo crews trained in similar terrain to the lunar surface? Also, did you have to sign an NDA upon exiting the base? Answer: because we needed a lot of room and a road, and we needed no interference from the public. Yes, the public could have gone into some of those areas. This was more secure, and I think also it had something to do with the communication facilities. We were trying to pretend that we were on Mars, so we were relaying information from a satellite to the rover, so I think Area 51 offered us the perfect kind of logistics for that test. No, probably I signed an NDA before I went there. I don't remember, but I probably did. Were you involved with the rover mission after they landed on Mars? If so, have they located anything else classified? Answer: nothing classified, and we are still operating. One of the rovers is still working. I'm still working with the team. Question: thoughts on the whole idea that the moon landing was filmed at Area 51? Answer: it is ridiculous. I know Harrison Schmitt, he was on the moon. Was bouncing the signals off of a satellite important in terms of delay and signal strength, or just a convenient way of covering the area? If the delay mattered, did you have to add more since the satellite was much closer than Mars? How autonomous is the rover? Answer, we just wanted to simulate trying to control it from Pasadena, where JPL and the delay time didn't matter so much as the fact that we were trying to do it from a satellite of some kind. The rover is supervised autonomy. We tell it what to do once a day, but then it avoids rocks and hazards on its own. It drives where we tell it to go on its own path. And as some people pointed out, it's kind of like a space Roomba. Did the workers ever get to do anything fun together at Area 51, to bond, to team build, to blow off steam, or was relaxing and getting to know coworkers discouraged? Was there a part of the base where you could hang out and discuss your projects with your coworkers in a more relaxed setting that encouraged creative problem solving? Answer, we were camping at night, so it was relaxed. We were among our team, so we actually didn't interface with any Area 51 people. We were just left off to do our own thing in the desert. So those are the majority of the questions. If you guys have other things you would have asked this guy, let me know down below in the comments. And to go a little further on the whole Bob Lazar thing, I think one of you guys recommended that way back, and I ended up watching a documentary about this guy Bob Lazar. And if you have never heard of him, he also has spent time in Area 51, but unlike the guy doing the AMA here, apparently Bob Lazar actually worked there. He claims to have been hired in the late 1980s to reverse engineer extraterrestrial technology, which he describes as a secret site called S4. And if I remember correctly, I think that the implication was that the government was trying to discredit him. They were going back and making it seem like he never went to the university he said he went to, like he never worked at the jobs he said he worked at, and sabotaging other parts of his life. It is an interesting story, and if any of you guys have seen any of the documentaries, then you probably know a lot about this. He also claims that he examined an alien spacecraft that ran on an antimatter reactor that was powered by element 115, which at the time did not exist yet. Later on, I guess it ended up existing, but at the time it didn't exist. I think there's also a part where he briefly mentions that he did see a craft flying. They kind of went straight up and then straight down and it was quiet. That particular part of this AMA reminded me of this. One part of his Wikipedia says that he claimed that during the time of joining the program, he read briefing documents describing the historical involvement of Earth for the past 10,000 years, with extraterrestrials being described as gray aliens from a planet orbiting the twin binary star system Zeta Reticuli. As of September 2019, no extrasolar planets have been found in the Zeta Reticuli system. In 1989, he said that the seats of the saucer he saw were approximately child-sized and that he had seen alien cadavers of a corresponding size. And I remember one thing that he actually said in one of his interviews was that everything inside of the spacecraft was kind of like if you took a candle and then melted it evenly, so there was just no edges, no corners, everything was just smooth inside. But anyway, if you enjoyed looking into this guy's experience of Area 51, don't forget to drop a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, notifications turned on, and make sure to follow on Spotify to hear the podcast. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.